Hello. So I'm just going to try to make this video as short as possible and go over a few things. I've gotten a shipment of PS3s in, and I will be jailbreaking them, cleaning them, thermal pasting them, and selling them. And I'm going to try to go as quick as I can on these. The faster that I can get these cleaned and jailbroken and all that, the faster the process, the cheaper I can sell these for, because money is time for me. I don't have a whole lot of free time, so yeah, the quicker I can do these, the cheaper I can sell them for. I'm not cleaning I'm not wiping down the tops and scrubbing it. I'm gonna spend as least amount of time as possible. I am cleaning the insides pretty good. I'm using alcohol 91%. That way it dries quick. What else? So I'm using the Arctic Silver 5. It's the best rated thermal paste that I could find. And along with the PlayStation will come a connector cord, the power cord, an HDMI cord, and I also got the old school cord if you have an old school TV. And I'm waiting on a shipment of controllers to come in. I will be shipping these with a controller. I might go ahead and throw them on eBay without the controller for a cheaper price for now until the controllers come in. If this video is old, I might already have the controllers on my eBay store. I'll have the eBay store posted in the description, so you can check that out. I'm trying to be as organized with these as possible. So the tapes, I have these all labeled. If the tape's on the side, that means that they've already been thermal pasted and cleaned. As you can see, I didn't clean the top. That most of that will buff out. Some of it is scratches, just to pre-warn you. I haven't had a single PS3 that came in that has the rubber feet on the bottom, except that one. The first one I look at has a rubber foot on it. Most of them do not have a rubber foot on the bottom. I didn't clean the outsides. The inside is pretty clean and repasted with Arctic Silver 5, the best thermal paste you can get that I know of. And so if the tape's on the side, they've been cleaned and pasted. That's what I have these out for. I got to do these. If the tape's on top, I need to change the thermal paste still. And if the tape's blue, they have not been jailbroken. Like the non-jailbroken PS3s are blue. I didn't have any red tape, but the white means they have been jailbroken. So this one needs jailbroken and clean. This one just came in today. I haven't done anything with it. The reason why I have them numbered, one sec. Along with the purchase of a PS3 will come a USB flash drive. And where's my mouse at? Inside the flash drive, let's take the 001 for example. I went ahead and put the dump, the flash, and the original SID inside of folders here for you. And I mean, if you request it, I can go ahead and throw games and mod menus or whatnot on the USB, or I can put them in the PS3, either or. It will come with a bigger price. It just depends on how long it takes me to do. So the dump, this comes with the original dump and the patched. The patched is what is already on the PS3. The original is what it was before it was jailbroken. So if you need these, you have them. The flash is what is on the PS3, and the original console ID, I'm not going to open these up, but these are good console IDs because they came from non-jailbroken PS3s, so they are not banned. But I went ahead and spoofed over the original console IDs with a new console ID from an irreparable PS3. It's completely private on each PS3. Each one of these all have their own spoofed console ID over the top of the original console ID. They are not banned. They are good console IDs spoofed on top. So the PS3 will come with two console IDs, your original and a good spoofed, and it's already spoofed over top. So if the reason why I do that is, let's say you want to switch to OFW after you get banned or something until you get a new console ID or something, you at least won't risk getting your original console ID banned, and you can play online on OFW until you want to re-jailbreak it, I guess, if you want to go that route. Or I mean, if you just want to throw your original console ID on and get back online with your jailbreak, either or. But if your original console ID does get banned, if you ever switch to OFW, official firmware, you're not going to be able to get online. Your PS3 is going to be banned. That's why I recommend, if your spoofed console ID, which is over top of your original, if that ever gets banned, I recommend getting a new console ID. I sell them also, or you can buy elsewhere. 100% private, and my SIDs do come from broken PS3s that have never been jailbroken, so these are clean SIDs that haven't even been reported. They will last you a long time if you do want to buy one off of me. Link will be in the description on that as well. Or you can hit me up on Instagram. And I do accept, I've had quite a few people ask me, I do accept PSN, $10, you know, if you don't have any cards or nothing, you can buy one with me with a PSN card, $10 for a SID. Anyways, when I package these, they will be in brand new U-line boxes. Don't worry, this doesn't make the price on them go up. I got a lot of free package supplies from friends of mine. I know a lot of people. The good bubble wrap, thick bubbles, I got the thin bubbles too. I can double wrap it if you'd like. I got box fillers, plastic. I got thick foam. These are box fillers too. If you know, I just fill up the box with foam, plastic, paper, plastic. I said plastic already. Bubble wrap, and yeah, brand new boxes, so your PS3 will be secured. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and get it pasted. Before I forget, at your request, I can upgrade these. For example, I will be putting this on eBay as a 120 gigabyte. I do have 500 gigabyte. Where's it at? I think this is a 500. Jeez, am I blind? Oh yeah, 500. Sorry, I'm holding the camera at the same time. 500 gigabyte. I can upgrade them at request. If you'd like that, just hit me up on Instagram. And I will be inspecting these before I sell them. For example, this. I have a replacement one, but let's say if I don't, like if I don't have a replacement part, I will do close-up shots on these. I'll get a good picture on them. I know I can't get a good picture at the moment, but if you can see, this is a damaged corner. If I have one on eBay, each of these will be listed separately. They're not going to be all in one listing. If there are any flaws with them, even scratches on the top, I will post the image of the scratches on top or damaged areas. This is still a functional PS3, so I mean most of these are in great condition. This one doesn't have any cracks, hardly any scratches either. I don't see any scratches. Maybe a roll that might even buff out. I haven't cleaned any of these on the outsides yet, so yeah, I can see a line there that might buff out as well. But yeah, I will post close-up shots of any flaws on these as well. And this is no tutorial by any means on how to repaste the CPU and the GPU, but if you do this yourself with your PS3, just make sure you separate the screws. These are different size screws. Like for example, this came from these. I don't know what these are called exactly. This came from the fan. This came from the CPU, or the CPU, the power supply. So just make sure you separate your screws. These are all from the outside of the console, the shell. And I do recommend anyone doing this at home, wipe the inside of this out. This is where your fan is. You know, you don't want this, especially this right here is the other side of this is where your thermal paste is. That's where there's a metal that connects a plate that has your CPU and GPU and the thermal paste right there, and air flow of course through here. So just I recommend wiping that out there. And again, this is not a tutorial by any means, but if you do happen to do this yourself, I recommend giving these a slight bend to them. I can't really do it one-handed, not much, just enough to give it a little more pressure when it's pushing down on the motherboard there, the GPU and the CPU. Well, this is actually one of the better jobs I've seen PS3 do. Usually like the last one I did was only covering half of the CPU, or no, that's the GPU there. No, that's the CPU. So this is the CPU here. As you can see, all of the paste, when they put thermal paste on it to begin with, that would have been this side. It all squeezed out to one side rather than covering it across evenly. The other one, it covered pretty much the entire GPU. That's the GPU on this side right here. It covered it, but it is all dried out now and will need changed. And it is better to remove this. Whoa, about to drop it here. Yeah, remove that before you clean that. It's a lot easier that way. There's the CPU and there's the GPU. And it's all cleaned. Time to paste it. These are the Arctic Silver 5 high density polysynthetic silver thermal compound that I'm using. Oh, yeah, that was the wrong hole. That's what she said. Okay, so I don't know if you guys seen that video where the guy who thermal pastes he has it evenly spread out, nice and even, and it looks so pretty. That would take me, first off, that would take me too long to do. This stuff is not easy to mess around with like that. I don't know if the guy heated it up to get it to melt like I don't know what he did, but I wouldn't recommend doing that, mainly because it is time consuming to do that, and I'd have to charge more if I spent that much time on it. Also, the most important reason is because it will cause air bubbles to get into it, because if you're laying something flat on top of that like that, I don't know if you've ever laid a screen protector on top of a brand new phone, air bubbles easily form inside of there. I recommend doing it just a drop like that right in the middle, and when you press it, I'll show you how you can kind of wiggle it around to get it to spread out as best as possible, and to get it spread evenly. And this will make it to where there's virtually no air bubbles inside of it, because if it's just a drop in the center, it's squeezing out to the sides rather than it being already spread out. And when you press that flat piece on top of that, you're not gonna have a bunch of air bubbles. It'd be better doing it this way, trust me. So I've already pressed it. This is the CPU and the GPU right here. I'm showing my hands here. So when I pressed it, I let it squish evenly, and if you can see, shine right here. If you can see right there, there's a tiny bit of playroom, and I'm kind of doing this just to make sure wiggling it back and forth a tiny bit. That'll make sure it's spread out all the way. It's just what I do. You don't have to do that, but I'm holding it by the CPU and the GPU right here, trying to go just back and forth a little bit. Not real hard or nothing, but you know, just to make sure it's evenly spread out. And go ahead and pause it. And back and forth, do a little bit on each side till it's screwed in. Again, this is not a tutorial on how to do this. Look up a better video for that. This is really just to show what you'll be getting if you purchase a Jailbroken PS3 from me. And this one, I forgot to bring my compressor home, but usually I'll blow it out with a compressor. This one, I did take a Q-tip, you know, through the fan blades and all that when I had it off there. Usually I won't take as much time. I'll just, you know, blow it out real good, dust it off real good, make sure there's no dust bunnies clogging up anything. I will not be cleaning these with a fine toothbrush. You know, I'm going to take least time as possible to make sure it's done right. Still, I will make sure it's all stick and span as far as dust bunnies. It'll be thermal pasted. It'll be clean. It just won't be, you know, spotless. And I don't know how many of these I took apart where this is loose. These do snap in. If you don't know that, it'll snap into place. Alright guys, I'm going to have to wrap this video up. I about got it put back together. I was putting the finishing touches, but the battery's about to die and my son is wanting to